विष्णुपादादिकेशान्तस्तोत्रं श्लोका 6 यो विश्वप्राणभूतस्तनुरपि च हरेर्यानकेतुस्वरूपो यं सञ्चिन्त्यैव सद्यः स्वयम् उरगवधूवर्गगर्भाः पतन्ति चञ्चच्चण्डोरुतुण्डत्रुटितफणिवसारक्तपङ्काङ्कितास्यं वन्दे छन्दोमयं तं खगपतिम् अमलस्वर्णवर्णं सुपर्णम्. Now the Padachhedaha and Anvaya. Yaha Vishwapranabhutaha apicha tanuhu harehe यानकेतुस्वरूपः यं संचिन्त्य एव उरगवधूवर्गगर्भाः सद्यः स्वयं पतन्ति तं चञ्चच्चण्डोरुतुण्डत्रुटितफणिवसारक्तपङ्काङ्कितास्यं. I will tell this separately. Chanchat Chanda Uru Tunda Trutita Bhani Vasarakta Pankankita Asyam Amala Swarna Varnam Chandomayam Suparnam Khagapatim Vande. Now we'll see the Pratipadarthaha. The basic shloka is Aham Vande. I offer salutations or I offer namaskarams. To whom? Khagapatim, to the Lord of the birds, which is popularly known as Garuda. Suparnam, this Garuda is said to have beautiful wings. Suparnam means one who has beautiful wings. Then Yaha Vishwaprana Bhutaha. This Garuda is said to be the life of the whole universe. Apicha, and moreover, Tanuhu. This Garuda's body is Harehe Yanaketu Swarupaha, in the form of Lord Vishnu's vehicle and the flag. Harehe is Lord Vishnu's, Yana means vehicle, Ketu means flag, Swarupaha is the form of. Then further, Yam Sanchintya eva, just thinking of whom, Sadhyaha, immediately or instantly, that is just when one thinks of Garuda itself, Uragavadhu Varga Garbhaha. Here the snakes are said to think of Garuda and be struck with fear. So, Uragavadhu Varga Garbhaha means the fetus which is in the wombs of the groups of female snakes. Uraga means snake and Vadhu are the young female snakes. Varga means there are many of them. So the groups of snakes. Garbhaha is the fetus which is in their womb. So such small fetus itself which is in the womb, Swayam Patanti, automatically falls off. As soon as the snake even thinks of Garuda, it loses its fetus. Then further, this Garuda itself, how does he appear? Tam, that Garuda's face is described. Chanchat Chanda Urutunda Trutita Phani Vasa Arakta Panka Ankita Asyam. Asyam means Mukham or face. So now the face of the Garuda is described in this. That significant Garuda has a face which is marked and smeared with the slush of the fatty meat and blood of the serpents which are being pecked at and shredded by his moving, lengthy, scary beak. Now, I will tell the separate meaning of each part of this word. This is a long compound word. It's a samasta padam. So, actually, it's not supposed to be split. But to understand, we can see the parts of it. So, here, tam means that significant Garuda. And then the description goes like this Garuda, you have to visualize this Garuda as moving and pecking at all the snakes. Now that is the description. Chanchat means the moving. This Garuda is moving here and there. And how is this? It is chanda. It is scary to look at the way it is moving. And the uru means lengthy and broad, tunda, beak. This Garuda has lengthy, broad beak. And with that, it is trutita. It is pecking and shredding the pani, serpents. So, this beak has on it some vasa, fatty meat of the serpent is stuck on this beak. Not only that, arakta, having pecked at the serpents, not only the fatty meat is stuck on the beak, but also there is blood all over the beak, which implies that continuously this Garuda is going and pecking at the snakes. Then panka, further that slushy meat. Panka means that slush here of the snake which has been pecked at. That slush also is there on the beak. Ankita. Ankita means marked and smeared. This beak is smeared by slush. And such is the asyam, the face of this Garuda. Then further, the author is describing the whole body of Garuda itself as being Amala Swarna Varnam. Amala means very pure, Swarna means bright golden, Varnam means hue or complexion. This Garuda is in appearance very bright and golden colored. Further, Chandomayam. This Garuda is said to be a personification of the Vedas themselves. So now, in the first 5 verses, Bhagavad Padacharya explained the 5 weapons carried by Lord Vishnu, and then he praised the weapons, and also we saw how each weapon stands for a particular principle in the cosmic form of Lord Vishnu. So now in this shloka, Bhagavad Padacharya is describing and praising the carrier of the Lord, Garuda. So the shloka overall meaning is, I offer my prayers and salutations to that Lord of the birds, Garuda, who appears majestic in his glory as the life of the whole world, and then the form of the body itself is that of Lord Vishnu. This Garuda is the vehicle and also the banner of Lord Vishnu. And when one thinks of this Garuda itself, it causes so much fear in the female serpents that those of them who are pregnant, the young female serpents who are pregnant, they lose their fetus. That is, the baby snakes in the womb are said to be shaken up and fall down dying because of fear. Further, one who has a long, broad, sharp beak which moves continuously, pecking at the serpent's flesh and then shredding it also. Consequently, the beak is smeared with the blood and fatty, slushy flesh of the snakes. Then this Garuda is the personified form of the Vedas. Also, Garuda appears pure and bright with a golden hue. This Garuda is said to be a form of Bhagavan himself. As mentioned in Bhagavad Gita by Krishna Bhagavan, it is said, Vainateyascha Pakshinam Vinatayaha Apatyam Puman Vainateyaha. So, Vainateyaha means Vinata's son is Vainateyaha. This is another name for Garuda. Among birds, one can see Bhagavan in the form of Vainateyaha. Now, in this shloka, the word Chandomayam is very significant. It implies that Garuda is the personification of the Vedas, which are the pramanam or means to attain self-knowledge. This meaning, Chandomayam, is brought out very beautifully in a Shruti Vakya. Suparnosi Garutman Trivritte Shiro Gayatram Chakshuhu Stoma Atma Samate Tanur Vamadevya Brihadrathantare Pakshau. The meaning is like this. Suparnosi, one who has beautiful wings, is Garuda. Garutman means one who has wonderful feathers. Then Trivrit Te Shiraha. What is the head of Garuda? The three Vedas, Rig, Yajus, Sama, are said to have come together to become the head of Garuda. Why? Because it is only the Vedas who can carry Bhagavan. In other words, only the Vedas can understand the ways of Bhagavan. So, collectively, Rig, Yajus, Sama, these three Trivrit are said to have become the head of Garuda. Then, Gayatram Chakshuhu, the eyes are the famous mantra in Gayatri Chandas or meter. Then, Chandas means meter. Then, Stoma means a yajna. This Stoma itself is said to be the Atma, the core essential being of Garuda. Then Sama Te Tanuhu. Tanuhu means body. Sama here refers to the hymns of Samaveda. That is said to be the whole body. Then Vamadevya Brihadrathantare. They are two padams. This Vamadevya and Brihadrathantare means they refer to certain tunes of the Samaveda. So these two tunes, known by the names of Vamadevyam and Brihadrathantara, are said to represent the wings of this personification of the Veda, the Garuda. So this verse essentially implies that only the Vedas can carry the Lord, because Vedas are the Pramanam. Hence, Garuda is none other than the personified form of the Vedas. The content of the Vedas is Bhagavan Vishnu. Therefore, singing verses praising Garuda and pleasing him will certainly bless the devotee with self-knowledge. Explanation for this shloka is concluded. Namaste.